want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make greatness look complacent. Adrenaline awakened, I can taste it. We can make an impact, grab and then take it. Like a disease, bring them to their knees. No day for fantasy. Rage is like a weed, spread into the streets. It's time to make them bleed. 'Cause we just want retribution. Let's go light up the darkness. Make true of an empty promise. Flip cards in the weak and harmless. Take to the streets and turn them to a mosh pit. 'Cause we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make
All right, guys, let's get this party started. If you want a reading, be sure and visit my stand store. It is linked in the description below. And as always, we have a fair use, a disclaimer. As you come in, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and share the video if you like it. Let's get it going. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Astrology for Mystics. I'm your host, astrologer Jennifer Jennings. Thank you so much for being with me this morning. Yes, Shauna. So tonight, when for Nashville, Tennessee time, it's going to happen overnight, like 12:46 a.m., I believe it was. So yeah, happy new moon in Scorpio. What is the new moon in Scorpio? New intentions, new stuff, bunch of new stuff hanging out with us with Scorpio energy. What is Scorpio energy? It's we got to go beneath the surface to find out. We got to go deep below the surface hidden taxes, hidden sex, pawns, trash. It's, Scorpio stuff, man. Good morning, y'all. Good morning. Hello, hello, hello. So, the beautiful news that we got yesterday from Don B was that the TBI and the FBI were looking for Summer evidence pertaining to her case on Van Hill Road. And I am so excited to show you the astrology. This is what I'm going to be doing this morning. I'm going to be talking about astrology. I'm going to be showing maps. I'm going to be showing charts. And if you're not with that, just scoot on out. If you are, hang out with us. Hit the thumbs up. But I appreciate you guys being here this morning and at least wanting to try to learn a little something that's new. It's different, it's not like the other channels, that's for sure. We're different over here, but we watch, we observe. Members here, that's what we do. We observe, we watch. If I say write something down, that's what I mean. Write it down, put it on your calendar because we're going to revisit it. So on the 12th of November, Sherfy Jr. was in transit. Pretty sure I put a post on my YouTube. I definitely have talked about it on my lives that there was going to be a lot of action going down with Sherfy Jr., the TBI, FBI, and Summer. Does that mean that Sherfy Jr. has anything to do with Summer going missing? No. It just means that there was, and continues to be energy surrounding him every time I see Summer in transit. And when I say I see Summer in transit, I'm not literally seeing her. I'm just seeing the birthday, the birth time that I have for Summer. And the transitory energy with the astrology it comes and then it goes and then it comes and then it goes like a clock. And there are connections that are being made. And when they're being made, I tell you guys, hey, be alert. We could see something go down with Summer's case. Same thing with any other case that I'm working on, doing maps and stuff, right? So this is pretty cool stuff. I love to hear that they are actively looking for Summer. Who did what? We know that there was a tree trimming company, and we have found that there is a tree trimming company that is related to the Van Hill property. That Van Hill property, let me just go ahead and show you. Let's just get into it. I can talk. Let's just get into it, though. Let's check this out. Let me put it on the full screen here. Let's go over here. So this is Van Hill. This is the property, the 3500 block. And we're going to go closer in. So we have Don. This is where Don shows up and shows out. He hides things here. So if Don Wells were the perpetrator, this is a good place to look because there's Neptune. I have found patterns with a perpetrator. If I can find that perpetrator, then I want to map the Neptune or the Cupid because it's desires. Cupid is desires, but here the Neptune in Scorpio is hiding something that we need to dissolve. Neptune wants to hide about things from the past. Neptune is about the past. It could be deceptive, especially in Scorpio. Neptune is dreamy, right? Neptune has to do with that 12th house, has to do with the past. And so we have Don Wells right here. And this is on the other side of the pond. Right here. Here's a pond on this old man's property. Old man Hill, Paul Hill. Is he related to this one, that one? I don't know. Don't know. At this point, I really don't care. I just want somewhere to be found. So the missing event, when she goes missing, this is where the missing event is rising. It is rising in Scorpio. We are taking note that it's rising in Scorpio. And guess what? Her Mars is in Scorpio. Her Mars is in Scorpio. So this is where we're going to find that Mars. Let me see if this should be where we find that Mars. Let me see if I've got it in her natal. I've got 21. Let me see. Natal first. No, I don't think I do. Let me go ahead and map that in real quick. Hold on. Let me map that in just to make sure I've got it. Because that Mars was just in transit, guys. That Mars was just in transit. Her natal Mars would be about the action, the abuse, the body, the car, the movement. Excuse me. So that Mars is a 16, 210, 226. It would be a 226. Oh, okay. So we're going to go out right here with that Mars. Let me see if I've got it here. Okay, I do. Yeah, there's the Mars. Okay, let me take it off. So let's go back. Let's go back to Van Hill. There's Van Hill Road. There's the Mars. Is that the Mars there? Hold on. There it is. Huh. Okay, let's go closer. Hold on. Hold up. So there's the Caney Creek. There's the Mars. There's Rose. Hold on. Let me turn everybody back on. Because we're about to discuss this and really get deep dive into it. I may not be watching chat. There's going to come some time while I look at it, but I'm really going to get focused on what I'm doing here. Yeah, that's what I've heard is that Van Hill is where Don Wells got a DUI. Leap. Girl, where you been? Yes, he is a uncle to Fred Hill and Andy Bernard. Okay. So that it sounds like they would all know each other and they may use this old man's property. Not saying that this old man would have anything to do with Summer, but it could be that they use his property. And he also owns the tree trimming company. So this man that lives here on Van Hill, he owns this property and he also owns the tree trimming place, the tree trimming company that's further down on the road. Let me see if I can find it. We got a bunch of area that's looks like excavated over there. Hold on. No, I think I need to go the other way. Where's that tree trimming place? Let's see. Let me get back. Let's look at it. Hold on. Is that it right there? No. Maybe. That's right. I'm down here. It's right here. This is where, okay, so this is where the 3500 block is. Okay. That's the 3500 block. Let's go back up. Why is it acting like this, man? Okay, so I was up here. The hell was I? Jesus. That's right. Okay, right here. That's where let me put a marker there so I know where Paul's place is. Okay, so there's Paul Hill. There's his tree trimming company. There it is. Look, and this also, look at this. This is the tree trimming company. This is Paul's. This is Hill's tree trimming. It's Hill's. The Hill tree trimming. That's his last name is Hill. And we know that there were tree trimmers there the day that that Summer was missing. So let's look behind this property right here. Let's look at that. Okay, so let's go back. We go behind that property here. We've got Sherfy Jr. and the state of Tennessee. And then we have Candace back here. Okay, hold on. Go back up to Dude's house, Paul Hill. This is where the missing is. This is what I'm interested in because we have the missing, we have the TBI, we have Dawn, we have Tennessee, and we have the natal. This would, if we are looking here, we're looking for this perpetrator right here. It would be him. It would be Dawn, and that Neptune, that would be the perpetrator. And this is where he would hide on this line. People are like, well, that's her favorite fishing spot. Well, Dawn is here. Her husband is here with that Neptune and Scorpio. I wonder if that's like, let me look at this from the ground level. I wonder if that is more like this is logging. This is logging. So, damn. So we would go up here, actually. This is the logging business right here. That's easy to tell. You can tell because of all the logs. And I would not be surprised if anybody had anything to do with Summer going missing and they were to find her here. I've even heard of people hollowing out that a log and putting somebody in that. Neptune is definitely Neptune is definitely, Dawn's Neptune being here, and Scorpio is definitely a containment where she would be contained. She wouldn't be just, free. She would be contained in something. Then we got the missing. It's about losing one's head. We got the TBI. This is where they descend with relationships. They descend there. This is where the state of Tennessee receives a lead. Don't know what that is. That dwelling, shed or something. Then we've got something else with that kind of looks like, well, it's too big to be hay. Might be a huge ass barrel. I don't know. Wow. Summer receives information here, possibly money. Okay. So we know that, let's go to the chart. We know that, let's see. We know that Summer, let me just look at the transits right now. And we're going to go back to the 13th because this is when they went to search. So we're going to look at this, see if we can figure it out, what they were doing. November 13th. Okay. So this is at 10 in the morning. Let's look at this for a second. Let me just look and see where the state of Tennessee is coming in, where, let's see. We'll look at, okay, so I want y'all to take note of this. So let's just do 9 a.m. because this is when the TBI, FBI, I'm sure they're all meeting up, talking about it. They're getting ready to go, or they are gone on their way. Going to go do a little knocky knock on the door. So I like this. And let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. And I've talked about this, but I'm going to say it one more time. And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about because I think seeing is believing. Seeing is believing. Sherfy. Something up with Don Sherfy. We're going to pull up Don Wells too. Okay, hold on. Because there's something up here. And I can't figure out if we are looking at Don, Candace, or Sherfy Jr. And this is why I'm gonna show you why. Because no matter what time Sherfy is born, no matter what time, y'all, this dude, he has a 1652 in his chart. Now let's talk about that. Let's talk about that 1652 because I want you to understand what it is. This 1652, it says 16 degree and 52 minute. This is Apollo. Apollo is a physician who brings enlightenment. A physician who brings enlightenment. And who does he bring enlightenment to, you ask? Oh, the justice system, the law enforcement. This 1652 was in transit the morning of the 13th for 24 hours. It's a collective type of transit. The 1652 is right here. It's Chronos. Chronos at 9 o'clock in the morning on the 13th when the TBI and the FBI went out. This is showing relationships. And where is those relationships? Where is this Chronos? Where's this devouring energy, this timing with Chronos, this timing? It's all about the time with Chronos, this 1652. This is in Cancer. We're looking on land. We're looking on properties. This is a familia. This is family. This is Cancer. This is Cancer. Okay, so we are looking at a home, a burial place, possibly, land. And there is a devouring energy with enlightenment. And where is Sherfy right now? Sherfy is in jail. He's in jail. So I'm going to ask one more time. Could it be that he is talking to law enforcement? Because this isn't the first time that they have been out looking for Summer. Remember, wasn't too long ago, they were at that store. Where is that store at? Let's go back up. Where's that store? On Beach Creek. No, it wasn't that one. It was this one. It was the old beach market. They went out here too. Beach Creek. They went right there to that beach market and look at who's showing up. It's Sherfy Jr. There's ponds in the back. Okay, so they have also went out here. So it does make me wonder. During this time period, there was also a bunch of commotion going on TikTok and Facebook with a kid named Austin Reed, who was talking about little girls, loving little girls, all kinds of stuff about little girls. It was gross. People were calling him out. The law enforcement was going to his house, and he lives in the, he lives right through here. Right through here in these apartments. And you see that there's a bunch of addresses I got there. Yeah, he lives right here. And there is a divine justice here with the missing event. So he lives here talking about a bunch of little girls, but I don't think that it has anything to do with this property being searched. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. So here's the deal. Here's the deal. When it comes to the 13th, and I ask y'all to pay attention, it's because I'm following him and this natal, this birthday, if I have it correct, and I may not. Public records can be, you just never know. But I want to tell you guys that there is reason for me to believe that there is some wisdom that's been given to the TBI from him. From him. Because that's who is in transit on the 13th. And it does make you wonder. Really does. Make you wonder. What else can I tell you? There was a limits and obstacles with the 2527 with the Pluto here. There was limits and obstacles a couple of days prior. But then Saturn lifts off of that degree. That 2527 lifts off that degree. We know that Venus in Scorpio that day, Venus is coming to oppose Sedna at Mitos. She's on her way. She's in an opposition. It's about the values, and we need to let go. Don Sherfy Jr. would need to let go of those values as Venus came here. As Venus is on her way to do a major opposition. Where is Venus at today, you ask? Venus today is at a 1557. So Venus has already opposed him. Venus is still opposing him, and Venus is going to come and sit on that Pluto. And do you see that the lunar nodes are a 1424? Lunar nodes of fate are at a 1424. We got the south node in Virgo. We got the north node in Pisces. Well, that 1424, let's go ahead and look at Summer. Let's look at Sherfy Jr. too. Let's do them side by side. She has her Saturn at a 1423 in Sag. He has his Jupiter at a 1423 in Libra. That's where the lunar nodes are coming. In fact, they're in orb right now. The lunar nodes of fate are coming over the Saturn, the old man, his property, her dad, Summer's dad, authority. But the lunar nodes are coming to expand the justice with Sherfy Jr. So I'm just wondering, you know, just wondering. Venus is at a 15 degree, right? So she's already passed over the relationship. Venus has already came and sat here on Summerwell's ascendant. But Venus is coming to the 1634. This 1634 was just in transit all day. She was just in transit all day. That with Poseidon. Poseidon was at a 1634 in Scorpio, just sitting there all day. Lots of wisdom when it comes to a vehicle. She is contained in something. She is contained in something. If we are looking for her to be deceased, she's contained. We got to go beneath the surface to find her. So here's the deal. This address here that they are looking, it's in Greeneville, Tennessee. It's about 10 miles from her home. 10 miles. Where's it at? There we go. Let's go back. 10 miles. Look at all those lines, y'all. Look at all that. Isn't that why we would want a hotspot there? I do have a hotspot up here. No hotspot down here, but it's a great place to find her. I'm telling y'all, it's a great place. This is 10 miles from her home. 10 miles. Okay, so let's come back for a second. And let's look at the transits right now with her. Right now. Because I want to show you where we're going here with Summer. Transits right now. And I'm not watching chat, guys. I'm going to be focused on everything that I'm doing right here. Sorry. Please talk amongst yourselves, or if you have anything, pertinent, Shauna can text me. Okay, so here we go. This 1634, that is exactly where Poseidon was at 2 days ago. 2 days. That was the 17th. So the 16th and the 17th, there is major wisdom that is coming over sitting on that Mars. Now, what's going to happen? There she is. Venus is going to be at the 1634. She's going to leave that 1634 and she's going to keep on coming. Watch. Hold on. I'm about to really break it down for you with a TBI. I'm about to pull them up. Don't you worry. So we want to see when Venus is going to come over that Mars because they're both personal planets. They're personal. It's going to be personal. Let's take it a day. No, we got to come back. So it's going to be today, the 1634. It's going to be tonight. Look at that. Hold on. There it is. There it is. Let's go back because it's going to be touching her at that moment tonight, summer, November 19th. And look at that. There's the 1423. 1423. So we are going to, not only is Venus going to sit here on that Mars at 10 o'clock tonight, but the South Node in Virgo, the North Node in Pisces is going to be making contact with the Saturn and with the Jupiter in Libra of Sherfy Jr. Anything with Kingsport? I've got a lot of stuff in Kingsport, babe. But we're not talking about Kingsport. They are looking for her in Greeneville, Tennessee. Greeneville. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff that went down with her mom that day going toward Kingsport, but they're not looking for her in Kingsport. They're looking for her in Greeneville, which is about 10 miles from her home. So we have covered this, the 1423, right? This is about the values. There's something beginning and ending with the law enforcement here. It's about money. It's about health. It's about values. Taurus. What is Taurus? Taurus is it's the logs, the logging. Could be anyway. Could be. There is a lot of magnetism with this 2545 with the law enforcement. Let's go back up. 2545. So we know that his desires are a 2453. Let's keep going. Hold on. 2545. Hold on. Let me look at that again. Hold on. 2545. Don't see any. Oh, hold on. $25.27. So that's already come. $22.48. I need to remember that. I need to remember that. Okay. All right. Okay. Lunar nodes have already come over her sun. Let's look at that. 658. 2645. The moon is reflecting at this moment a 26. 26. And I don't know what time he's born, so I don't know. But I do know that his magnetism is a 2929. We're about to see that. We're about to see that. That magnetism with 2929, there it is. Neptune is going to oppose it. Neptune is opposing Don Sherfy's magnetism. That 2929 is also going to be in transit with the groups. That's us. That's we, the people. The 2930 is coming down to the 2929. Excuse me. 2929. That's Don Sharfie Jr., y'all. It's Don Sharfie Jr. And look at this. This is the TBI. Hygeia is at a 617 in Cancer. This is the TBI. The TBI is a 618. They all their desires for understanding what happened with Summer. We are at a home. We are at a home. The communications about the TBI being at the home, but we do have a shakeup. Neptune is opposing Don Sharfie Jr. at this exact moment. This exact moment. When his Jupiter and her Saturn are in transit with the lunar nodes of fate. Interesting. And the Paul Hill, that property, I would imagine that the locals with his tree trimming company, with, him owning all that land, not being so far away, having the last name Hill. There's a lot of people that know this man. Interesting. 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 So that's why I'm wondering if it does have anything to do with Sharfie Jr. And y'all can see why. You can definitely see why I'm wondering that. I wonder if that old man has the 2545 in his chart. I don't know his exact birthday. I don't know if this is his birthday or not. Public records is always, I wonder if it's a 25, 26. I don't know if this is the man's birthday or not. Let's see. Because I did have another birthday for him. And then I found another birthday, so I don't know which one is correct. So let me go back. It's hard to say. Unless Paul tells me his birthday, it's going to be hard to know for sure. Now I want to go to the TBI. Now I want to go 26, 26. Let's look at Don. Let me look at Don Wells. But this time too. Don Wells. With this time. This is tonight. Okay, so this is tonight. This is a big transit, especially for Sharfie Jr. Okay. So we have a 25. He's got a lot of 28s. His son could be a 546. His son could be a 546. And the reason why I'm saying that is because Vulcan is at a 546 in Sag. I've got his son at a 541. Don't see the 26s. You would see that he doesn't have the 2929s. But we do see, hold up. Don Wells does have Chiron in Pisces at a 1409, 1410, 1411, depending on what time he's born. And that's where the North Node is coming. Interesting. And see, this 1813, Scorpio, Neptune, that 1813 is where I have that 1813 is where the magnetism is with Summer Wells. Let's look at Don Sharfie Jr. If he has an 1813. Yeah, he could. He could have an 1813. His lunar nodes could definitely be that 1813. South node communications, north node. So it may not be Don Wells, guys. It may not be Don. It may actually be Sharfie Jr. And maybe, it would be two or more people, though. It would be two or more people, I would think, because if South Node being in Gemini, I'm thinking that could be. And see, he would have that 617 in his chart or a 618 that would match the TBI that's in transit tonight with that 617. You see what I'm saying? So I'm looking at these degrees, I'm going, damn, they're really matching up really good. Like really good. Let's see. Eris is a 2451. We have a 2326. Let's go back. Hold on. This is definitely the FBI. It's definitely the FBI, guys. I'm about to pull up the agencies. Just give me a minute. Give me a minute. Just looking here. 24, 658, 658. I could even look at his dad, Sharfie Sr. See if this is hitting him too. Just to see. 23, 24. Twenty-four, 28. No, we're not there. Hold on. 23, 24. 2453. Let's go back. 2453. Okay, so that would have been 2 days ago. With Eris, the 2453 would have been 2 days ago with Sharfie Jr. and those desires. That's right. That's right. 2453. Hold on. When was that? 2453 was a lot of warring with him with those desires. With those desires, 2453. That would have been the 16th. So the 15th and the 16th. And the 16th, we're going to go, that's the FBI right there. I'm pretty sure that that's what's happening. That's what it looks like to me anyway. Yeah, because there's Summer. Look, there's that 1634 with Summer. Lots of anger, lots of problems with Sharfie Jr. right there with his desires. There's the communications with the FBI. Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure that this is what we're looking at, guys. This was Sunday evening. And then Monday on the 17th, that would have still been in transit. Her Mars is in transit with a lot of wisdom. All the while, he's got issues. Okay. He's having some warring now. Let me go. The hell, man. Let me look at this for a second. Hold on. For tonight, this is his dad. I'm just trying to get some clarification here. Maybe if this is his dad, that's when he's born. I don't know, but I want to see if I can get any type of clarification here. So that Mars could definitely be a 2929. He's warring with communications right now, possibly with me or with other people, because the agencies could be looking into him. Got a relationship, 152, 255. Let me look at this. Yes, 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 yes. Venus has come against him. Venus has come against him and his Saturn in Taurus. Well, well, well. And look, Venus will take your ass down into the underworld. People talk about, oh, she's so love and light and all that's bright. No, 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 no. Venus will take your ass down through there. This 2646 could definitely be a 2645. He could be born later. Uh-huh. He could be born later. With that 2929 matching his sun. There has been a transformation with him in the public eye with children at a 1333, something that he was learning. Has to do with summer. Hmm. His son has a 117. He has a 116. And that's where Sedna has come. She is coming down. She's going to come down and she's going to do a letting go. When is that? When is that with Sharpie Jr.? Let's go back. And I know you're probably not following me. You probably don't even understand what the hell I'm doing, but just listen to what you do understand. Okay, so he's got a 114. So he's got a 114 is going to hit his dad first, and then him with the letting go. So 114, his dad is a 116. He could have that, could be a 116. So his dad has possibly, if that's his birthday, we don't know, has a 116, and then he has a 114. Let's look at it again. Now, let's go back. Let's look at the transits because we're looking for that 114. It's going to hit his dad first. Shit. Hold on. It's going to hit his dad first. 116. Where's Sedna? Let's find her. She's at a 119. We're wanting her to be at a 116, right? Because it's going to be a collective transit when she comes. There it is. That's going to be on the 24th. That's when it hits Sharpie Sr. And there's that Chiron. The Chiron with Don Wells, right? The fate. There's a letting go with communications. Don Wells is in transit carrying the fate. So is Summer Wells ascendant coming into the fate. And then that's we need to get it to the 14th. So that's the 24th. Mark it on your calendar. And then there is Junior. That's on Friday, November 28th. Yep. I can see the TBI is in transit here. Oh, yeah. Hold on. Okay, now I'll tell you what else I'm seeing here. So that weirdo, Austin Reed, has a fate with the lunar nodes in this 1350 range. Now, what's weird, really weird, is that this 1350 range is with Ronnie Lawson, his son Brandon Lawson, and that weirdo Austin Reed that was putting a bunch of weird shit on his platform, his social media platforms. But there's a letting go here all day on Friday, the 28th, with Sharpie Jr. We're letting go of communications. And at the same time, this is very important, guys. At the same time, the state of Tennessee, Mars in the 8th house of of Cancer, is a 2509. Okay, so Jupiter has just stationed to go retrograde, now is in retrograde, but it's stationed at the same exact degree, a 2509. That's Tennessee. This is Tennessee. There's a station. Lots of work is being put in on this day, on the 28th, when he has a letting go. There's a letting go of communications. It's fated with Ronnie and his son and the weirdo. The 2048 is coming into the 2047 and 2046 degree that the TBI has. This is summer. Let's look at that. Let's look at this. Hold on. The other weird shit is that the 1350s also go to Sebastian's case too. Hold on. Pull up Summer again, because we know it's hitting Sharpie Jr. So we know it's hitting him all day. But this is what I was talking about when I said this relationship is Summer. That 1856 is her Chiron. It's in 1856. So this is definitely, definitely, definitely going down. The lunar nodes have already come over, have already made contact there with her ascendant, has already made contact with her Saturn. These 14 degrees, right? And then it's coming down into the 13 degree, which is the Lawson's, Ronnie Lawson, and his kid, his son. There's other people that have that, like Weirdo, Austin Reed. "10 a.m. Friday morning on the 28th." The 28th. So we have to wait until then to really see how this is going to express itself. I'm looking to see what else can I find here. What else am I finding? We got a relationship. We got a relationship that's making contact. This is a home, okay? Home. There's an unusual home. See what that Chiron is doing with, oh, let's see what the Chiron is doing here. Because I want to see what the Chiron is doing with, say, the Chronos, anything having to do with this 8th and 9th house with this Gemini and Cancerian energy here. So Hades, the vertex, Vulcanus. Let's see. There's nothing. Squaring Saturn, sextile Pluto. That's that could be, guys. It could be the logging, that logging area. It's opposing the North Node and is conjunct her South Node, where she's been before. She's been here before. She's been there at that home, at that property. Of course, this is the dad. This is the authority. This is the public image here. All right. Let's see. So it's coming here. So Hygeia is at a 510 and is coming here in the 8th house. I'm talking this out with you guys. Good morning, Angel, for you. Reflecting in Pisces now. (1733). She has a 1714, 1707, so Mars has already made contact there. 2440. 2440. That's where Jupiter is. 2440. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Y'all see it? You see what I'm showing you? Let's go back. Now let's look at him. The 2440. This is having to do with him and his son. That's what I think. It's having to do with his son. or possibly him. Hell, I don't know. That 2440 though that I'm looking at is on the 28th. The 28th of November. A friend of his, a relationship, a partnership. We're learning things about Summer that's going against her son. When I say her son, I'm talking about her 1450 Aquarius sun is being opposed with relationships. There's an expansion with a home. There's a letting go with Sharpie Jr. here. Limits and obstacles for the state of Tennessee finding that body at the home. And it could be that those limits and obstacles are going to work out for them and not work against them. It's possible, definitely possible. And I'm missing shit. I'm just missing stuff because I'm so excited here that there could actually be movement. 2447. And it's coming down to that 2440. And Jupiter is at. Okay, so let me go back to Sharpie for this day. Hold on. Y'all ain't gonna find this nowhere else. You know that, right? Even though you don't understand what the hell I'm doing, you can understand that I'm saying Don Sharpie and his son. It's possible. It's possible I'm wrong, but I'm showing you how this is working itself out. So he has the 2440 Pluto. His Pluto in Virgo at a 2440 is exactly Friday morning where we're going to be at. It's at a property. What else can we see here? I know that that's the TBI. What else? 449. We got a 442. Coming to shake things up with the law enforcement. 2447. 354. 510. 29. 29. He's got a 2912. He's got a 2912 in Scorpio as well. So Don Wells has a Neptune in Scorpio, and that's where his is as well as in Scorpio. Interesting, if I do say so myself. What am I missing here? What am I missing that's coming against her son? How she shines with groups. Ah. Huh. Let's pull up Candace. Just pull up Candace now. Candace. Let's pull her up and look at the 28th because I see things going down with her and this kid. Let's see. She could definitely have a 2440. A dark moon. Yeah. Disordered aggression with that 2440 so she would have a disordered aggression with Sharpie. Could be having to do with that property. She has a 1642. So her lunar nodes. She has the wisdom. She knows what's going on. 24. Her magnetism. Her magnetism is dark. Dark. Very dark. Connects to this 19 degree, connects to the state of Tennessee and the United States at a federal level. God, I hadn't seen her chart in a hot minute. Those lunar nodes, though, that she has is coming. It's with Poseidon and Kronos. Those 16, whatever it is, 1644, 1642, 1640. I mean, that's where Kronos is coming. 657. She's got a 657 here. Hold on, I just saw that. 657. She lets go at a 657. Hold on. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. 657. That was yesterday. That was yesterday. So yesterday, the Enlightenment opposes her. It is opposing her. The Enlightenment is opposing her where she lets go. That was on the 18th. The 657 was on the 18th. That was yesterday when the news broke. And it's opposing her. Doesn't mean that she's responsible. It just means that she's being opposed with that information. But she does have the enlightenment with it because that 657, it's in Scorpio. So she has the oh yeah. Yeah, she ain't doing good. I wonder if she's been on the YouTube streets yet. Let's pull up the TBI. Let's pull up the TBI and the FBI. Jesus. I don't know, man. I don't know. TBI, let's look at the FBI. I'm seeing Sharpie and his dad. I'm seeing the Wells. And on the map, the map ain't going to lie, right? The map ain't lying. And if we have Sharpie Jr. here and his Pluto and Scorpio is about a transformation with hidden sex, other people's money. His Cupid is here. And so if I'm looking for a perpetrator, I want to look for the Cupid, and I also want to look for the Neptune because that's where they hide. A Neptune is, the Neptune in Scorpio and the Cupid. And so I'm torn between Dawn and Candace and dude. I'm torn here still. Interesting. Interesting. So that's the tree trimming. He's got a pond. Mr. Hill is 77 years old. I'm sure most of the townspeople know him. His tree trimming business was involved with work the day that Summer went missing. So it could be somebody that works for him. It could be somebody that knows him. There's a pond there on his property. We see that this is such a good area to search. My hot spot was right here because I've went down this road, but I didn't look at this one. And this is what has really got my eye here is the logging road. This is a logging road. Tons of logs. So it's a logging road. There's tons of logs. The tree trimming, the logging, that goes to Mr. Paul Hill. Interesting. Okay, let's look at Summer Wells. Let's look at the TBI with the 28th, because that's what I'm seeing. There's a letting go with Sharpie Jr. Excuse me. All right. This is what I wanted to show you guys. Mercury on the 28th, the 10th house, is right next to the dark moon, right next to Venus, the wisdom with Poseidon. This is all Scorpio. When this transit takes place with Sharpie Jr., the state of Tennessee, Ronnie Lawson, and the 2048 is coming down. Mercury is coming down to a 2047 and then a 2046. And so during this day on the 28th, the TBI, as summer is in transit, the TBI is going to be thinking and communicating about things of the past. This is the house of prison, hospitals, jail. We're talking to someone in the past in jail. And then there is going to be leadership with their work, with the law enforcement, with the justice right here. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. There's going to be a lot of action on Friday morning on the 28th because Mars is at a 1733. It's already transformed. Mars is already transformed that morning. There's a lot of action. There's a lot of transformation that is going to be taking place with the TBI. Big time. Big time. What else can we see here? Because Venus is going to be at these 27 degrees. The dark moon with the house of kids with the TBI. Okay, here's the deal. Here's the deal, Daniel. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. It's because I woke up this morning and I had a lot of texts about your handles on YouTube. And we have a lot of trolls that come in, that came in last night talking about you. And so as I am talking about a very important case, Summer Wells, the TBI, we are distracted. And this channel cannot, I have worked very hard and I cannot allow the channel, the chatter, the chat to become distracted, to talk about other things than what I'm talking about. It's a distraction. That's the problem. That is the problem. We have a lot of people that are coming and that are emailing, and it has to do with all of your YouTube accounts. The person, Caden, that came in the chat last night, there is just a lot of issues. And I want to keep the chat and this channel as professional as I can, where we are not getting distracted from any type of trolls that are coming in to troll you for some reason. We had about 5 last night. That's the problem. And it has nothing to do with what you've said, what you've done. I think you're a sweetheart. And you're not blocked on the channel. That's why you're talking. So you're not blocked on the channel. Yeah, you're not doing anything. It's the trolls that are coming in talking about you. It's the trolls that are coming in that are talking about you. For some reason, have some type of agenda. And they are worried. Some of my mods are worried that it's going to distract and deflect from the purpose of the channel. That's the only thing. You're still welcome to chat. You're not blocked. We just can't have a lot of distractions like what we're doing right now. We can't talk about other, we I don't want other people talk. I mean, y'all are fine to talk about other things, but I don't want us to be distracted. Yeah, it's not a blocked account, it's he's not blocked. It's just that I could show y'all what I'm talking about, but I don't want to because it's really neither here nor there for me. But we had about 5 trolls come in last night talking about Daniel, not me, not the subject. They were asking why he was asking for emails, why he does this. There was a lot of people coming into chat to talk about him. It was the weirdest thing. Not just on my channel, but on Lady Freedom's channel too. So until I can get it worked out, until I can actually sit down and talk to you, Daniel, that's just what I decided this morning because it's just too much. It was just too much. Because that Caden person was talking about you. There was another girl. There was probably 5 or 6 that were talking about you. So I'm gonna get back. I'm gonna get back and we can either talk about this or not. But I'm going to talk about the TBI because I think that this is very important. This is such a milestone for us that have been following Summer Wells' case, that have been invested. But look at this. There is going to be a lot of disordered aggression with the TBI, with groups, with groups. And I would say that the groups are us. There's going to be a lot of disordered aggression because look, that 2902 is coming down. I mean, Uranus is coming down to that 2902. Interesting. Very interesting indeed that we're going to see that come into play. What else can we see here? So the 27s, 2706. So the enlightenment is coming days before. It's going to sit on their sun, not sit on the sun because, yes, Daniel. Yeah, we'll talk about it, okay? Just not today. I've got a lot of things going on today, but we'll talk about it, okay? We'll definitely talk about it and get it straightened out because, I want to talk to you about it. I just don't want us to be distracted anymore during this live, okay? 2552, 27, 2745. The weight. There's a weight. They've already had limits and obstacles. There was a slowdown. There was a slowdown with Saturn. This 2552 is going to be in transit on the 27th with their investigation, and it's with drugs, it's with water, it's with money. That's going to be the day before. So they're working this, y'all. They are working it in a big way. In a big way. Look at that. There is going to be a lot of sadness, a lot of pain as they reflect the home. What is home for TBI? It's it's state of Tennessee. State of Tennessee. Let's pull up Tennessee now. Golly, man. 703. So that would have been 3 days prior. The physician. They're working this like crazy, y'all. like crazy. Okay, let's look at Tennessee because Tennessee is definitely in transit on that day too. This is the 28th, so I can see things are going to be heating up even more. And let me show you why. It's because the state of Tennessee has their Mars here in the 8th house of death, rebirth, regeneration, other people's money. It's in Cancer, so we're looking at land. We're looking at home. We're looking at family land. And that 2509 in Cancer is going to be expressing itself here. Oh, shoot. Right here. This 2509 with Saturn. Saturn's going to station at that 2509. Jupiter has just stationed at this 2509 in Cancer. Jupiter was literally sitting here. And that's where we are coming. That's why we are here. That's why we're here with Summerwell's case, is because they are looking for her. The state of Tennessee is looking for her. When I said that Candace Wells has a magnetism of 1928 and it goes dark at a federal level, it does. It does. But the state of Tennessee is opposing her magnetism at home, with her mother, with the drugs, with the water, right there. Tennessee opposes her. Tennessee is going northwest with that from Ben Hill, and her magnetism is going south. Interesting. 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 And that dude, Paul, could definitely have that in his chart if I've got it right. Let me keep looking here. Let me keep looking here. 23, 24, 19. Let me look. Because you know I'm missing something. I'm definitely missing some things here. Little Summer. Little Summer Wells. 2851. 2855. Yeah, so we're gearing up. We're gearing up for some major energy here through the 28th. Through the 28th. Actually on through, because we're gonna have a shakeup with the disordered aggression with us, we the people. The things we are talking about, the things that we are talking about. Okay. I'm gonna have to go back and look. Hold on. Because Dawn is going to be in transit. Let's look at this day. Right there. So the 28th is that's when Don Sharpie Jr. lets go. His dad lets go on the 25th of communications, okay? But all day on the 26th, on Wednesday, that's when the TBI is going to be magnetized. The TBI is going to be magnetized. There's a lot of problems with Don Wells. Don. State of Tennessee, as you can see, Saturn is at that 2509, but it hasn't stationed just yet. It's just going to sit here. God. We're reflecting the woods. Pretty sure we're going to be reflecting the logging, that area right there. There is a relationship with Don Wells and that North Node. With the, it's going to be the TBI. We have a lot. We got a lot to look forward to in the Summer Wells case. But that's Don Wells all day. Let me show you what I'm talking about, because this ain't over. This don't look like it's over. This investigation is not over. Don Wells is going to be on the left. The 26 is going to be on the right. And I want to show y'all what I'm talking about, because Don has a 1527 in his chart. It's his Cupid. Okay. His Cupid, his desires for relationships, for balance, for justice. And it's going to be weighted down. He's weighted down all day on the 26th, and it has to do with the property. This Cancerian energy is definitely a property. It's land. The North Node has already went over Don's Chiron. This actually, if I wanted to tell you, okay, this goes to, what state does this go to? It goes to Texas. It also goes to Ohio. That 1527 does. Texas and Ohio. His magnetism is a 713. Let's look at this. This could be a 1733, 321. But this is Dawn. That 1813 is right here. It's that Neptune. And where's the Neptune? Where's the Neptune? Remember? His Neptune is right here off of Van Hill Road by that pond in the woods. So we got water. We got a pond. We got logging. And this is Scorpio. What is Scorpio? Got to go beneath the surface like a pond. Trash. Looking into the logs. Looking in the woods for something that is hidden and contained. And there's the TBI. The TBI is descending in Scorpio there. The TBI descends at a 2522. And that's where Uranus is sitting, is at that 2522. Well, you can see that the dark moon, Venus, you can see that Mercury in retrograde going down in degree. They've already went over, all of this has already went over their descendant. They descend with relationships, and they are descending with a relationship with Summer Wells at that property. At that property. Boom, bam. Right here. That's where the TBI is descending with relationships, descends in Scorpio. This is where the missing event was rising. So as the missing event is rising, they are descending with relationships here. Dawn is here. State of Tennessee receives leads, and this is where we receive information about Summer. And it's on this property, on Paul Hill's property. Now, he's an old man. He's 77 years old. Who knows him? How many of the neighbors, does Don and Candace know him? I would say so. Because there's Don. He's shining with things that are hidden. Don is shining with things that are hidden there. 2522. Let's look at Don Wells again. He's at a low degree with Sag, but that we don't know what time he's born. So I don't know that that's correct. But I do know that 1813 doesn't change no matter what time he's born. He has an 1813. This is the courts. This is the judge. This is the 11th house of groups, of how he brings in money. It's also about a vehicle. We're going fast. The sun is shining on a vehicle at a 1605. Mars is coming to make contact with that Pluto. The South Node has just come over the 1436. 1436, the South Node at a 1436. You can see that the South Node is it just shook him up. What does the South Node in Virgo mean? It's where he's been before. He's been there. Dude has been there. They know them. Sherfy Jr. today is in an opposition with Neptune. All day. All day. And is going to continue, right? That 29-29. Oh, yeah. The moon is going to come and cross over the descendant of the TBI at a 25-22. Let's see if we can get any clues with that. When the moon comes over that descendant, it's going on Van Hill Road. Jeez Louise, man. I want to go back too. I want to go back and see what I'm saying about Tennessee and Summer's case. Let's see. 25-22. The moon. We have a new moon. It's taking place tonight. 25-22. Here we go. There it is. There it be. There's the moon. At 2208 in Libra. That's me. Okay, we are in the 5th house of kids. Zeus has already made contact with the ascendant of the FBI, which we know that they did. It did. Let's look at this. We're still tonight at 7 o'clock. We are definitely in an opposition with the public image of Sherfy Jr. right there. There's the 617 that Sherfy Jr. has in his chart, but the 618 is the TBI. So tonight, we're reflecting on the home, something that's beginning and ending here. There's the 1423 that Summer and Sherfy Jr. have. They share that 1423. Let's look at the parents and see if they have that. 2633. Sebastian's going to be in transit tonight too. I see a lot with Sebastian too here. I'm going to try to keep it on Summer for right now. The 536, 537 is going to be Tennessee and the TBI. Mars is at 1113. There's a relationship here. We're rising with Cancer, descending in the woods with the authority, with the business, the tree trimming business. $16.25. Let's look at that. Hold on. Because that's tonight with the TBI. We're reflecting with the TBI. Let's look at that. Let's look at that with the TBI. So it's going to come over them first, the 1426. Then it's coming down to Summer 1423. Don Jr. There's that 1116. There's, hold on, what did I do? That's this morning. No. No. Let's go back. Let's go back here. Hold on. No. It's right here tonight. That 1113. There's a lot of energy coming here in that 12th house. And again, this 12th house is about the past. It's about somebody that's in jail that could be giving them information. It's about somebody that was in jail that could be giving them information. That's where the tips are coming from. Somebody from the past, possibly somebody that's in jail. Their desires with Cupid at a 618. We went to that house. So they could be at the property again today. Again today. God's will is going to be done with something that they learn. It could be about video, it could be about devices, it could be about a group. But they are learned there's something here. That 537 is where the TBI connects to the state of Tennessee. Are they, and this is in Sag, are they going to find what they're looking for? Is this the DA? Is this the judge? Is this a warrant? Makes you wonder. '26. They have 1311, 848, 25. Poor little Summer. 25, 22. Then Mars is going to come to this 1414 and they're going to receive a lead. They're going to receive information. It could be from the DA. Let's look. 1414 with Mars. Oh, God. 1414. It's Mars. That's going to be, when is that? When is that? When is that? When is that? Will we get a good lead? A good hit? 1414. Right there. Divine Justice with the state of Tennessee. There it is. Hold up. This is going to be at 10 o'clock. So this is like the 10 o'clock news. Lots of action. And then the TBI is going to shine like crazy on the 24th. On the 24th. And that's when that 1423 comes into transit with Summer. 1423. That's the state of Tennessee. And again, I'm thinking that I mean, I'm still looking at people that are in jail that are giving information to the law enforcement. That 1742 is the state of Tennessee. There's a disordered aggression here, has to do with kids. Creativity, the 2248 that's already passed over. Sharfie Jr., 2248. Hold up. 2248. This is where he's going to be transformed in the public eye right there with the media, possibly. We see that Don Sharfie Jr. has a 2248 in his chart all day. It's a lot of transformation with the public eye with kids. Venus is going to come over that 2248. This is at 6 o'clock Monday on the 24th. So I still see him popping in and out of transit with Summer. This is the TBI. They shine at a 703. The North Node is the Chiron of Don Wells. His Chiron, that's where you share pain with people. The 1414, they've already learned something. The TBI has already learned something that day. They've learned something that day. What time was it that they learned? They're going to wake up. There's the 1428. Okay, so 1421, 1423. They're going to learn. They're listening in on conversations. They're listening in on conversation. They're going to learn something. And then Summer is going to come into transit. God, there's so much going on with her case. Like, I'm not even kidding. There is so much. Let's go back 2 days here. 44, 713. That's going to be Dawn and Sharpie Senior right there. Okay, this is the 22nd. This is Saturday. This is Saturday. This is Saturday. Ah, look at that. Well, duh. Dirt. There's the 1414, Jennifer. Jesus. My God. That 1414 is coming into transit. There's a fate over the TBI. There's a justice with Don Wells. This is Saturday at 4 o'clock. Saturday at 4. I like this. I like this. I like this a lot. The 559 has already come over the TBI. Oh, yeah. Let's go back. I think I might just be seeing something here. Guys, I think I might be seeing something here. Hold on. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about here. Okay. So, on Summer's map, okay, we haven't gotten to the TBI yet, but it's already in orb. This is Saturday morning. This Saturday, okay? This Saturday. There is coming a fate with the TBI, with the information that is coming in, with the leads that are coming in. Summer's health, her Hygeia is a 144. So all day on Saturday, we are going to see a major transformation with her health, with We the People. And look at that. Mercury is at the 2522, descending with relationships with the TBI. Look at that. The TBI's midheaven and their IC is a 559. But guess what? Guess what? Their lowest point, let me just show you the TBI. Let me just show you the TBI on the map. Y'all need to see this, okay? Because if you haven't seen it yet, you're going to see it again today. If you have seen it. Okay, so the TBI, let me only look at the TBI. Y'all need to see this. Okay. The TBI, their lowest point and their highest point is a 559. So from Ben Hill Road, we're going this way. This is where they meet their midheaven at a 559. The TBI has their lowest point going this way with kids and attention. And you know who used to live here? Jody, Sue, and Andy. That's who used to live there. That's where the TBI has their lowest point, is with them, with that home, with that property. Their lowest point is a 559 in Leo. Their midheaven is a 559 in Aquarius. And that is what is showing up. We are at a home. We're at a home right here. The problem that I'm seeing with this is that I see that California is showing up. I see California at a 1638, how they shine is a 1638. I'm seeing Virginia and Tennessee, how they connect is a 1940. I'm seeing that the TBI is descending with communications with the House of Groups, their friend group, the way that they bring in money, their work, their investigation, and the communications. Saturday morning, I'm seeing that there's a lot going on in that 12th house. We got Mars, we got Juno, which is a relationship. We're reflecting on the courts. I see California again. California is coming in strong on the 22nd, Saturday morning. We're rising with California. We are at the ascendant of California. There's a lot of things with California, guys, on this day. So I'm a little hesitant. I'm wondering. Look at that. There's a lot of energy with that 230. That 230 was series, with church, with charity and church, water, drugs. Let me see something here. Hold on. 230. Let me save this. I want to look at Summer's chart. Hold on. Because I see a lot of energy with that 2° and 30'. And let me show you why I want to go to her chart. It's because Summer Wells is also, there's a lot of energy going here to her Ceres. So Ceres in Aries in the 3rd house of communications, Saturday morning is a 230 and it's stationing. Okay, it's gonna be a hard station. And that's exactly where her Ceres is at a 230. So this is definitely gonna have to do with Summer. This is definitely having to do with Summer. So I do see Virginia, I do see Tennessee, I do see California during this time period, this Pluto at a 144. Well, that's exactly where the Hygeia is at a 144 in her natal chart. In her natal chart. Lots of energy is going here in that 4th house of home. Lots and lots of energy. Ceres could be about directed energy. Ceres can be about a church, religion, religious, cultish shit, cult. That's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling like a cult. There's like some kind of cult here. Yuck. Yuck. Hope I'm wrong. Definitely hope I'm wrong on this. But the TBI is descending here. I do have a relationship that looks like a 1649, right? I know that Don Sharpie Jr. has a 1652. Let's see that. Let me look at that on the 22nd. 1652. No matter what time Sharpie Jr. is born, he has 1652. 1652. There it is. Let's go back. Let's see it. I wanted to show you guys. Okay, so we're going to see the 1311 with the TBI. This is right before noon on Saturday. And then that 1652, there's a relationship. We get a conscious raising experience right here. 1652. I'm going to get it right when it starts in my default of Nashville. There it is. And there it is, folks. This is, well, Let's go back to the TBI because there's Sharpie. I mean, I can't make it up, y'all. Can't make it up. And if I'm wrong about you, Sharpie Jr., I'm sorry, but it's pretty disgusting what you do, buddy. It's pretty disgusting what you're in jail for. So it is what it is. So the 1414, this is where the TBI receives information. They receive leads. They are fated with this 1414. This south node is a 1414. This north node in Pisces is 1414. This is at noon, Nashville time. Noon, Nashville time. They get shaken up. They get shaken up with groups, with their work at a 2514, and that's where Mercury is going to be at, right? God's will is being done. Vulcan is at a 638. Well, that's exactly where Ceres is with the TBI. Lots of energy going to that 12th house. And again, that 12th house is about things of the past. People that are in jail, like Sharpie Jr., that they could be getting information from. The 230 is still in transit at noon. It's still in a station. The sun is shining in Sag at a 0041. Now we're in Sag season on the 22nd. I just love this. I'm thinking that this is going to be a big weekend for the TBI. Going to be a big weekend for them, and it's going to go into the end of November. Interesting. Interesting. I love this. I love to see that there is a lot of action. So when I'm looking at Sebastian's case and I see that the TBI is in transit with Sebastian, and I say, I think that they could be working it. I think that they could. I think that they could. I definitely think that they could. There's the magnetism here at a 2547. Let me go back and look. 2547 with Zeus. 25. It's not the TBI. Of course, I need to look at the FBI too, don't I? 2547. 25. Don't see it there. Candace. The sun is already going to oppose her and all her problems with the communications. Girl, what they find on your phone, honey? What are they finding out? Don Sharpie. 25. Don't see it. Don't see it. Sharpie Jr. No. Okay. Let's look at the FBI. Let's look at the FBI with this day. That it looks like on Saturday. Let's look at this. Let's look at this, guys. Okay. So we've already looked at the TBI, looked at summer. We know that the FBI is in transit today. They're in transit with this 141. It's a vertex. They're having an intense experience with communications that are behind the scenes. And then they're going to get a wake-up call with this 142. And then boom, that 143 is going to come on Friday. That 143 is going to be majorly transformed on Friday. And then we come into Saturday. And the reason why I'm saying it's going to be majorly transformed is because when we look at Pluto, Pluto is now on summer. But before Pluto gets to that 144, it's going to be making contact with the FBI at a 143 all day. And again, we're going into the past with this 143. We're going here. This 12th house is jail. prisons, hospitals, things of the past. And this is their everyday job, every day. So Friday will be a big day for the FBI. And then Saturday, that's when there's going to be a lot of transformation with the TBI, with Summer's case again this weekend at a home, at a home, a property. And I can tell you this, that there is a devouring energy with the FBI at a property at a 1647. They're weighted down. They are weighted down with all the problems, with the water, with the drugs, with the endings, with, this Pisces energy is also about prisons and hospitals. They're weighted. They are weighted down with all these problems and they're devouring a property. They're devouring a property. And again, there is a relationship from the past with Don Sharfie Jr. that I'm also looking at while the TBI is in transit, while Summer is in transit, while all of them, all of them. This is a big day. It's a big day, and you can definitely mark it on your calendar because this should be very productive day. Friday into Saturday should be very productive when it comes to the TBI and the FBI in Summer's case. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. See what else I can find here. God's will is done out of 2556. 2556. Let me look. God's will is done. Let's look at God's will being done with the FBI. 2556. God's will be done. 2556. Can this have to do with Summer, or will it end before that? We'll see. There it is. All day. A wake-up call with Summer shines at a 1450. God, why am I seeing Mexico now? Jesus. Oh, Lord. I, lo- I lost you guys. Sorry. Sorry, I'm back. I don't know what all y'all got to see before I lost you, but dang it. Dang it all. Let me share my screen again. Sorry. Sorry, guys. God's will is being done at a 2556 with the FBI. There's Horton Highway. This is where God's will is going to be done. Hold on. Horton Highway. I'm just concerned. I'm concerned that we're getting the runaround. They could be getting the runaround. I'm concerned that the FBI and the TBI could be getting the runaround here. I'm very concerned about that, looking at the transits. Because now they have wisdom. They're gonna have wisdom here. That's December 2nd. Huh. 1450, that's her son. Right there. It's a wake-up call with her health. That's on December 2nd. I'm really concerned. If this is gonna go, if this is going to go on for days, and God's will is being done on December 2nd with the FBI and any of these missing kids cases, I'm definitely any of these missing kids cases. December 2nd is looking like there's a lot happening with the FBI, with Summer, Mexico. We need to watch this day. Need to watch this. Saturn has moved off of the state of Tennessee. We're definitely gonna see Mexico in transit. We're definitely gonna hear about Mexico and the FBI on the 2nd. But will it have to do with summer? I don't know, but it could. 157. Let me look at Sharpie one more time. Hold on. I know I'm going back and forth. I'm trying to figure out who's who. 15, 2057. This is the dad. There's a letting go at 152. We've got a 255, 142, 152, 152, 255, 258. There's that 2056. Yeah, something ain't right here. Something ain't right. Something ain't right. Something ain't right here. Let's go back to the FBI. No. Let me look at him. Because something ain't right here. There's the FBI. The 2428, that would have already hit summer on the 1st of December. We're coming down. There's going to be a breakup. It's going to be a breakup with you. There's the 2057. Could be it's going to be a 2057. No matter what time he's born, that Cupid in Libra. There's the 2056. Mars is coming. This is before noon. Mars is coming here. $152, $255, $157. Let's go back to $152. Let's go back to $152. Let's go back to $152. Because I just want to keep seeing if this is going to be a pattern. If I'm going to keep continuously see 152, where's that at? I want to get Pluto there. I don't know. I think that they're going to have this. They're on it, man. They are on it. We know that Dawn and, hold on. 2556. There's the moon coming over the TBI. There's a letting go all day. So Sharfie Senior will be in transit all day on Saturday, the 29th, all day. I want to look at the 1813. Let's go back with Mars. Let's look at that 1813 right there. Waking up Saturday morning. And we have a connection with Don Sharfie Jr. We have a connection with Don Wells. This is the fate over the Ronnie Lawson, over that sheriff. This is that day. Let's see. 52, that's the dad. Communications are not going well with the TBI. Communications are not going well. For 48. Then we have the TBI is going to get a little shakeup. There's a dark moon. The dark moon is going to come over the state of Tennessee and the jail. Prisoners from the past, offenders from the past. Tennessee's Neptune is a 2750 in Scorpio. So that's what we're seeing. We're seeing a lot of disordered aggression, a lot of darkness with things from the past. Monday morning, when we wake up, whatever happened on Sunday, we're talking about it. Sharfie Sr. is there. His son in summer is here. A little shaky shake, a little wake up call. And then the TBI has already had a lot of disordered aggression. The TBI is working big time through the first week of December. And I want to say the degree in which they share with Summer Wells is a 2428. Jupiter is going to come and expand. This is where they may be digging up some land here. They may be digging up some land by 1 o'clock on Monday. And the reason why I'm saying that is because there's an expansion here with a lead. And it's in Cancer, so we're at a home, we're at a property, we're at land, we're on land. There's some type of land here. That 1517, that's me. So I'm going to learn something Monday. I'm going to hear about something. $19.53. There's that 111 again. That's in Mexico. Jupiter expands whatever it touches. Jupiter is going to expand a home. This is in Cancer, so we could be seeing that they're going to be digging. They're going to be digging, looking, expanding property. Interesting. That's on the 1st. And then Dawn and Sharfie Senior is the 7th. 2254. You see who I'm seeing here? 442. Hold on. 442. Let me look at Sharpie one more time. The daddy. The daddy, because he's the one that's got the 442 here with Uranus. 442 Uranus. So let me put it on him. Let me put that on him. On these, what was it? What was it? Let me go back. Hold on. It was the 7th. Shit. Hold on. 7th. 7th. That's when he and Don share a, Don Wells, that is. So Sharfie Sr., Don Wells are sharing the 6th. Again, this is a Saturday. Let's go ahead and reflect on his son, Sharfie Jr. That 1652 is wanting to show up, so let's let it show up. Saturday. That's Saturday night. That's Saturday night. And don't tell me I'm seeing California again. Don't tell me I'm seeing it again. There's California. Pretty sure that's California. The 442, there's a breakup with communications with Sharfie Sr. That's Georgia. And Trump. That's Sebastian. That's me. That's late. I'm definitely not going to be up that late. I better not be. Let me look at California. This is just bugging me. This is bugging me big time. That's the United States at a federal level. I'm going to look at California before I have to shut up my ramblings here. 1328. That's on the 7th. Let me look at California. Because I'm not sure if this is where we're, I don't know if he's giving them the runaround. Or if somebody is giving the law enforcement a runaround. I hope that they find Summer. No, it's a 1323. The North Node is going to come here. Not a 1328. Interesting. I do think that this is it's a wonderful place to look for summer. You're crossing Fields Road. You know, they went to the beach market. They looked at the beach market. Then you keep coming down on Beach Creek. It turns into North Fork, and then Van Hill Road. And right here is the 3500 block. This is the 3500 block. That's in Rogersville. But they said that they were looking in Greeneville, so that's going to be here. It's going to be here. And it's that guy's property, Paul Hill. That's it. That's it. There's the natal. That's the reason why I draw the natal equatorial ascendant. It's a 26. She rises at a 14 in Scorpio. She rises at a 14 in Scorpio. Right through here. So if we wanted to come on down Van Hill and Horton Highway, I've got an address here at 195 Van Hill Road. Turn on Tennessee. The lunar nodes are coming down. So the lunar nodes are going to be coming down here. This is a 1421. There's a fate here. Her Aunt Rose is there. Her Aunt Rose is here. What is that? It's a campground. It's a campground. In Greeneville, Tennessee. That's where Rose, her Aunt Rose, has her Cupid. So let's say that Rose was the perpetrator. This is where Summer is rising with her Aunt Rose. So that's her Horton Highway, Van Hill. There's the mother. She's right off of Daniel Boone. She's showing up on Payne Hollow Road. The mother is Candace Wells. She's showing up on Payne Hollow, Daniel Boone, Van Hill. And if we go up Daniel Boone right here, we could be looking in these woods back here. But this is the tree. This is the tree place right here. And we see Sharpie Jr. Lots of transformation that happens here. A lot of desires are going here. His desires to hide, hidden sex. FBI, their outer will, second and outer will. Okay, so they're the FBI's outer will. That's what we're looking at there. Their outer will. So we're looking at this. This is where we're looking with the FBI, their values. They're spending money there. They're using resources there, right here. That's where they're using resources. We're going across the street. We're going across the street and we're still going up here. You too, April. You too, babe. Thank you for coming in. Okay, so TBI, the missing, Dawn. Let's look right here. Right there on that line. On Van Hill. Where are we going? Which way are we going? Let's go the other way. On Van Hill. So we're crossing the line of the TBI on Van Hill. It's a bluff up there. We go on down. There's a creek, woods. Not really an ideal place to, you know, unless you're unless she's contained in, say, a log or in something, a barrel, buried somewhere, but no. There's a back road. that goes up through here. That goes up through here. Okay, let's look back there. Let's look back here on Widow Hollow Road. Let's go back. Hold on. I want to go back to where the TBI is right there. This is where the TBI line is. Damn, this could be a good one. This could be a good place right here. Let me show you where I'm at. My little man is right here on the yellow TBI line. We're coming off of Van Hill and we're on Widow Hollow Road right here. Right here. We're on the line of the TBI. That's 131 Widow Hollow. There's the creek, lots of woods. This is more of a place where I would go. I like this. Let me go ahead and go on down. Here's the missing. I'm on the missing line now. See, the missing line is the yellow is TBI. The missing is green. Here's the creek. It could be contained in here somewhere. Shit, this is where I'm gonna go ahead and draw a hot spot here, guys. I've got a hot spot right here, but where my little man is right there, that's where a hot spot's going. Right here. Let's go ahead and get it right there. Because this Widow Hollow. And then I've got a hot spot here at the end of 234 Van Hill. You can see that there's a cabin back here. Don't know when it was built. Got a camper. Don't know how long they've had that property, but it's a dead end and it goes back into woods. Huh. And that's all I got, guys. I just wanted to come on this morning, talk about Summer's case, talk about the transits. I know that, you know, some of y'all may get lost. You're not understanding what the hell I'm saying, and that's okay. What you do understand, just go with that. Just go with that. What you do understand. Because I think that for Summer's case, we're looking at Don, Candace, Sharfie Jr. That's who I'm looking to as a perpetrator for right now anyway. And I have ridden this line to have other hotspots here because I think that this is definitely a great place. It being a Scorpio and the TBI descending here, I'm just not sure if they're getting the runaround or not, as far as the exact location that she can be found with whoever is giving them a tip. Okay, so I've got Widow Hollow, Van Hill Estates at the dead end, and then, of course, anywhere up here, we could definitely draw a hot spot here on this man's property too. So, because he's an old man. Maybe people are taking advantage of him, taking advantage of his land, taking advantage. Everybody knows everybody. They have a common denominator. Being messed up from the flow up. That's their common denominator, being messed up. So, I don't know, guys. I think we got a ways to go, but hey, I'm here for it. And I know y'all are too. Summer being found. I mean, how many of us cry just to hear that, just to hear that, you know, she could be. They're working on it though. They're working on it, guys. That's the most important. They're working on it. And I think that that's a beautiful thing. Even though we didn't hear about it, we heard about it after the fact. And that's why I say in my lives that when I'm doing this and I'm seeing them in action, when I'm seeing them work, we could hear about it later. We could be looking at the insight and then going to have to go back and look at it in hindsight, right? I say that all the time. you know? Yeah. Yeah, man, it's some good stuff. Good stuff. But I am going to end this stream with Sebastian's anthem. I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you for joining me. Peace out, guys.
Clean like your soul won't be forgotten. We stand strong for you, never give up. Seek justice and truth. Day and night we search. Community gathers, wipe the tears away. Rise up for you, Sebastian strong. Sebastian's army, we march on. Each day comes and goes, hope in our hearts. You're never alone, we'll bring you home. Wish it was a dream, babe. It lingers on, but strength we carry will keep you strong. Rise up for you, Sebastian strong. Sebastian's army, we march on. Each day comes and goes, hope in our hearts. You're never alone, we'll bring you home. Wish it was a dream, hey, it lingers on, but strength we carry